In the previous video, we introduced the idea of using a structured evaluation process to select an idea or to pick a design solution. We talked about two categories of decision matrices, the screening matrix and the scoring matrix. For the screening matrix, the goal is to throw out low-fidelity solutions, hopefully eliminating 50 to 70% of the initial ideas. So if you recall the diagram where we started with many design solutions and narrowed them down, the screening process occurs here after you've screened ideas for just plain common sense. The previous video mentioned two different types of screening matrices, the numerical evaluation matrix and the screening Pew matrix. This video is going to cover how to set up and use a screening Pew matrix. Using a screening matrix allows you to do four things. Rate the concepts against the established design criteria. Rank the concepts. Combine and improve the concepts through the process of reflection. And select concepts for further evaluation. There are 7 steps to setting up and using a screening Pew matrix. The first step is to list the evaluation criteria down the left-hand side of the table. These criteria should be the design criteria that your team established earlier. The second step is to list solution ideas along the top row. While you will likely have many ideas, it's advisable to only list 10 or so at a time. Otherwise, the Pew matrix will become unwieldy. And yes, this means you will need to do several Pew matrices to sort through your ideas. The third step is to set a standard solution or a reference solution. The standard can be a previous or existing solution if one exists. What's most important is that the standard have intermediate or mid-range characteristics or attributes compared with other proposed solutions. In other words, the standard should have mid-range values based on the design criteria. The fourth step is to fill in the screening Pew matrix using plus, minus, and zeros. You'll give the standard or reference solution a 0 in all the design criteria. And then all the other boxes you'll fill in with either a 0, a plus, or a minus. Where a 0 is equivalent to the standard, a plus is better or improved relative to the standard, and a minus is worse than the standard. So you'll move through adding zeros, pluses, or minuses row by row. In other words, you'll select a design criteria, moving through evaluating each solution and assigning it a plus, minus, or a 0. When you're finished with the design criteria, you'll then move on to the next, and you'll continue until the table is filled in. The fifth step is to sum the scores of plus, minus, and 0 to determine the rank of the solutions. In step 6, you reflect on the results, possibly combining or improving some of your concept ideas. The seventh and final step is to select the concepts to move forward for further evaluation. So there are a number of best practices when using a screening Pew matrix. First, your whole team has to be there participating and working on the matrix together. Every member of the team needs to be fully involved. Second, it's important that everyone can see what's going on, so I recommend that you use a whiteboard or some type of collaborative online document. Third, you'll notice that this may take a while. With lots of ideas, trying to screen through them, it could take several screening Pew matrices, and that's okay. It's important to slow down, do this process correctly, so that you can eliminate solutions that won't work, enabling you to later select a solution that will.